Heather, and welcome to Men on Vacation.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
Wiggle and squirm as you might, it is really hard to put lipstick on a pig.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Hey gang, what's up? We're gonna watch MP Michelle Ferreri. She's one of the most dynamic conservatives on the campaign trail. She's always interesting. She looks good saying the things she's saying. Let's take a watch. Michelle Ferreri. Remember to like, share, subscribe. We've got more videos to check out after Michelle Ferreri, but let's get in to what this firecracker has to say. She's great.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Hey everyone, Michelle Ferreri here, Conservative candidate for Peterborough, and as I knock on thousands of doors, election's coming up April 28th, make sure you vote. One of the biggest things I'm seeing at the door is people are just so disenchanted. They don't have any trust left. They don't believe anything they hear anymore because for the last 10 years, the Liberals told them they were going to do one thing and they did the complete opposite. They told them they were going to fix housing. They doubled the cost of housing. They told them they were going to make life more affordable. They made life less affordable. They told people they were going to make their life safer. Nothing has been less safe. Everything's less safe. You know, crime is up 50%. And so that's what happens, right? When you break your word, when you tell somebody you're going to do something and then you do the complete opposite, you break trust. And as a result, people are like, why vote for a politician? I'll tell you why. Because today, the Conservatives put forward another policy. Yes, we have, oh my gosh, we almost have 30 policies now that we've announced since the election was called. And just so you know, like people are like, what does that mean? It means when we win, these policies come into effect. And this policy announcement today is probably one of the most important because it will restore the accountability, which will ensure that we restore hope and trust. And that's what you need for a unified, hopeful country. Okay, so we're the only party putting forward laws for accountability. So what does this look like? Conservatives will, when elected on April 28th, ban shadow lobbyists and close the Carney loophole by requiring anyone advising the government directly or indirectly who stands to gain financially from their advice to register as a lobbyist. Ban politicians from making decisions that benefit themselves or their families disproportionately and require ethics commissioner approval and full public disclosure of all public interests. Increase fines for ethics violations to $10,000. Yes, actual laws in place to hold corruption to account. This is what we need in this country to restore trust. Require anyone running for public office to disclose where they paid taxes for the last 7 years. Mark Carney will not tell anyone where he's paying his taxes. He has offshore bank accounts. He has rules for thee, but not for me. He expects you Canadians to be taxed into poverty while he hides his wealth in offshore bank accounts in Cayman Islands, in Bermuda, and it is absolutely hypocritical and it is out to lunch, and we will change that. Next, Conservatives will require cabinet ministers to divest fully from tax havens and disclose assets to the Office of the Conflict of Interest Commissioner with penalties for non-compliance. And finally, we will require party leaders to disclose their assets within 30 days of becoming leader and require prime ministers to divest their assets within 30 days of assuming office. These are huge policies that we will implement to restore hope, to restore trust, and to restore accountability. There should not be rules for thee, but not for me. And the Conservatives are the only ones implementing this. Mark Carney and the Liberals are following the rules, as they say, but they are not ethical. And there's a very distinct difference. And a Globe and Mail reporter called out Mark Carney on this. Maybe you followed the rules. Maybe. But are they ethical? Is it ethical for you to be able to hide your wealth and not disclose your massive conflicts of interest? Oh, did you know Mark Carney wants to build tiny homes, wartime homes, for all of Canada to fix the housing crisis that his government created? Did you know that his company has assets in those homes? That he would personally profit from that? That he personally profits from heat pumps? That he personally profits from all of these decisions that he makes politically? It is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. And next time somebody says, oh, well, Mark Carney has all of these degrees and all. Wouldn't you rather have a person who is a real person fighting for you, standing up for you, and understands how hard life is and the real struggle? If you haven't watched the full interview with Anna and Pierre Poilievre on how they grew up in a middle-class home, earning everything that they have and fighting to give opportunity to everybody so that they are not taxed into poverty, so that when they go to work, they keep their paycheck. Watch that YouTube interview. It is called Meet the Poilievres. It's Camila Gonzalez. It is an incredible, incredible YouTube interview, and you need to watch it. But today, another policy, the only party that is fighting for accountability to restore trust and hope in this country is the Conservatives. Vote for a change on April 28th. Vote Conservative. It matters.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
All right, gang, like, share, subscribe, comment, get notified for the live shows and all these videos that we are dropping during this campaign of carnage. Michelle Ferreri is great. Now we're going to look at another great conservative, Michael Barrett. Everybody has something to say about Carnage Mark Carney, fake prime minister.
You won't believe what Mark Carney tried to do this morning. Carney is actually trying to run from his record of 10 years of rising crime and chaos in our streets. He leads the exact same Liberal team that voted to lower sentences for fentanyl kingpins, that allows car thieves to serve their sentences at home, and requires bail to be given to any criminal at the earliest opportunity regardless of their criminal record. Here are the facts. Under the Liberals, violent crime is up 50%. Auto theft is up 46%, violent gun crime is up 116%, and extortion is up an eye-watering 357%. Mark Carney's hug-a-thug policies are not going to stop the crime. He's counting on Canadians not remembering anything from the last 10 years. This has been a lost Liberal decade that's unleashed crime and chaos across our country. But Canadians know better. Canadians remember how Liberal laws made our once safe communities more dangerous than ever before. We can't afford a fourth Liberal term under a weak leader like Mark Carney. A new Conservative government will stop the crime with a 3 strikes and you're out law to keep repeat and violent criminals behind bars. We'll put the worst of the worst, drug, human, and gun traffickers behind bars for life. And we'll make sure that those who engage in intimate partner violence stay behind bars. On April 28th, Canadians will decide if they want a fourth Liberal term of crime and chaos, or if they want a Canada First Conservative government that will lock up criminals and keep our streets safe for a change.
MP Mike Barrett is a badger, guys. I love watching this guy. He's relentless. He really is. He does not stop. One of my favorite politicians, MP Andrew Scheer, who used to be the House Speaker, now he's Conservative Whip. He's so funny, guys. His videos are very insightful. Let's break it down. Let's take a look at Andrew Scheer. He is funny.
Bombshell news today. For years, Mark Carney's company, Brookfield Asset Management, has been accused of using offshore tax havens and accounting tricks just to avoid paying taxes in Canada. In June 2023, Brookfield Asset Management came under international scrutiny for its tax practices, including offshore accounts in Bermuda. A report by the Center for International Corporate Tax Accountability and Research alleged that Brookfield consistently pays low tax rates by leveraging global tax havens, including the tiny island territory of Bermuda. But can Mark Carney be blamed for that? Well, apparently yes. This morning, CBC released a report outlining the complex offshore tax structure that Carney used to help investors avoid paying taxes in Canada. While Mark Carney was at Brookfield, he personally managed $25 billion in assets across 2 major funds, the Global Transition Fund 1 and Global Transition Fund 2. And where did Carney decide to register these funds? You guessed it, the notorious tax haven, Bermuda. So, why Bermuda? Well, according to the accounting firm KPMG, in Bermuda, there is no income tax. There's no capital gains tax, no dividend tax, and no withholding tax. This makes it one of the most attractive tax havens in the world. In total, Carney's company registered 44 limited partnerships in Bermuda for investors in these funds. This is Mark Carney and his uber-rich, powerful friends at Brookfield working hard to pay as little tax as possible in Canada. The utter hypocrisy of this Liberal Party that ran around calling small business owners and farmers tax cheats is led by a guy who put so much effort into moving money out of Canada, all to avoid paying taxes. Maybe that's why Mark Carney wants a shadow carbon tax, to make you pay for all the taxes he skipped out on. You know, the taxes that pay for things like healthcare, education, support for seniors and the needy, police, and national defense. Mark Carney wants you to believe that he cares, but he won't put his money where his mouth is. And Carney refuses to answer questions about his time at Brookfield because he doesn't want you to know the truth. Here's what his campaign told the CBC, quote, "A spokesperson for the Liberal Party refused to answer questions about Carney's activities at Brookfield or whether he had assets in tax havens before they were placed in a blind trust." Now, why won't Carney answer such a simple question? Is this why he won't release his personal assets and conflicts of interest? How many other secrets does Mark Carney have? Mark Carney is the most conflicted and compromised prime minister in history. He needs to come clean, release his finances and conflicts of interest so Canadians can decide for themselves.
All right, gang. Andrew Scheer is very entertaining. You know what else is entertaining? In living color. I grew up on this stuff. I love comedy, and this is some of the best. They made fun of everything. Remember when you could do that? Seems like a day gone by. Anyhow, Aaron Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you like these laughs at the end of the videos. Like, I figure it's a tough time, so we might as well have a laugh while we're watching and engaging and learning all about Canadian federal politics. The corruption is hard to tolerate, yes. We'll take that with a spoonful of medicine. The prescription is humor, so take a dose. Let's take a look. Like Damon Wayans, man, check out the hat.
And now, Public Access Television Channel 53 presents Men on Vacation.
And welcome to Men on Vacation. Today we'll be reviewing our little European vacation.
From a male point of view, here we are on our last stop on our whirlwind gallivant through Europa.
Wait a minute, we got a new sponsor.
Somebody better check in there.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jules, the gum that explodes in your mouth. I bet you just can't chew one.
And who'd want to?
We started our little trip in Greece.
The Greek peoples were so nice.
Yes, they bent over backwards to show us a good time.
Oh, look. Excuse me.
Oh, not you, fish. You go back in the sea.
Yes, sir. Oh, they have another wall banging.
And for monsieur?
Oui, oui. Bottoms up.
Ditto.
Is that little Ricky Schroeder? What's he doing here? Don't let him see me. Who's that with him?
You know, I think that's Erica Strata. Oh, well, anyway. Next, we went to Holland, land of dikes.
Hey, Dad.
And from there, it was on to merry old England. Remember Big Ben?
Oh, how could I forget it? It was so nice of him to show us around the city.
Excuse me, Big Ben was a clock.
Well, we both know what time that was.
You know, it's so chilly out here, my nipples are hard. Then it was just a hop, skip, and a jump onto Gay Perry. But we decided to go back to Greece instead.
And then it was on to Scotland.
You know, I found it to be quite an open society where men are free to explore their feminine side of their nature. All those hairy legs and skirts holding them bagpipes.
Not since the Fire Island Halloween barn dance have I seen so many men in drag. Just a hint, fellas, platters out this fall.
Our next stop was Sweden, best known for its beautiful buxom blondes.
Hated it. So we went back to Greece.
But it was very sad when we had to leave our soldier buddies behind and travel to our final destination, the French Riviera, which is where we've been ever since.
Oh, yes, and to sum up our little European vacation, we're going to have to give the whole trip a new and improved around the world and back snack. Tell a friend. Tune in next week when we'll be back in the good old US of A reviewing the new release, Memphis Belle.
It's the story of 10 young men in leather jackets, all sweaty, standing next to each other, and them long, hard bombs crammed together in a little old cockpit.
Well, grease my landing gear. I'm coming in for a landing.
See you next week. Bye.
Okay, good day. Welcome to the Great White North, aka Canadian Corner.
How's it going, eh?
Bob McKenzie's my brother Doug.